Next, 14th question. What is given here? The domain of the function is open alpha to closed beta, then alpha plus beta is, right? We need to calculate the domain of this particular function. Here, if you observe the function, there is one function and another function. Sum of two functions are there, or two expressions are there. So now in this kind of questions, you need to calculate the domain of this one and the domain of this part, and the final domain will be the intersection of these two. That will be the domain of the function, right? So let's try to calculate the first part domain. So what I can say is solution. So here the logarithm must be defined. For the logarithm must be defined, here the inside argument must be positive. So let's start from there. So log to the base 5, 7 minus log to the base 2 of x square minus 10x plus 85 must be positive here, right? Now here let's remove the logarithm here. I want to remove the logarithm. Here, whenever you want to remove the logarithm, always look for the base. If base is greater than 1, then even though you remove the logarithm, the same inequality will be continued. If base is less than 1, if you remove the logarithm, the inequality will change. That means here greater than is there. If base is less than 1, if you are removing the logarithm, then it will changing as lesser than. Now here as base is greater than 1, there is no issue with the inequality. So what I can say is here 7 minus log to the base 2 x square minus 10x plus 85 must be greater than 5 power 0, which is 1, right? So I can take this one to this side, this one to this side. I will get log to the base 2 x square minus 10x plus 85 should be less than 7 minus 1, 6. Right? Again, here base is 2. I want to remove the logarithm. Now I will be getting x square minus 10x plus 85 less than 2 power 6, which is 64. Right? So if you take this one to this side, you will be getting 85 minus 64. You will be getting 21 less than 0. So clear factorization we can see 7 3s are 21. So 7 plus 3 10. X minus 7 into x minus 3 must be less than 0. Here the domain of the first part is like this. We can mark 3. We can use wavy curve method here. So here it should be positive, negative, then positive, right? So the negative portion lies here. So the domain of the first part is x belongs to open interval 3 to 7. Done. Now let's focus on the second part. So second part is saying that it is sine inverse of something, right? So this has to be defined. So what I do is, let's consider that. So for this to be defined, the argument inside this value must be less than 1. That means 17 minus x, this value should be less than or equals to 1. If you open the modulus, we can write minus 1 less than or equals to 3x minus 7, 17 minus x less than or equals to 1. Right? For solving these kind of inequality, what we do is generally we solve this part of the inequality and this part of inequality, and we take the intersection of both, right? So let's see here. So I am solving this part. So 3x minus 7 by 17 minus x should be greater than or equals to minus 1. Now what I do is I will take that minus 1 to this side. So I will be getting plus 1 greater than or equals to 0. Never ever cross multiply the inequality here, because we don't know the sign of 17 minus x. That means whether it is positive or negative, we don't know that. So always try to bring every term into one side and make one side as 0. So take the LCM. You will be getting 3x minus x, you will be getting 2x minus 7 plus 17, you will be getting plus 10 by 17 minus x. So this will be going to be there. Now I can write like this: 2 times of x plus 5 minus of x minus 17 greater than or equals to 0. If I divide with minus 2 on both sides, if we multiply or divide an inequality with a negative number, the inequality changes its sign, as like here. The greater than will be changing as less than or equals to, because we are dividing with minus 2, right? Now, how to calculate the valid portion for this inequality? Just to use the wavy curve method here, I can mark the number line here. Here it is minus 5, 17. Here it should be positive, it should be negative, and it is positive. So our region is minus 5 to 17. Minus 5 is closed, but 17 should be open, right? here, because denominator cannot be 7, x should not be 17 because denominator cannot be 0, right? Next, this part of the inequality. So what I can say is 3x minus 7 by 17 minus x minus 1 less than or equals to 0. So if you take the LCM, 3x plus x, you will be getting 4x minus 7 minus 17 minus 24 by 17 minus x less than or equals to 0. So 4 times x minus 6 minus of x minus 17 less than or equals to 0. I will divide the inequality with minus 4 on both sides. I will be getting x minus 6 by x minus 17 greater than or equals to 0, as we are dividing with negative number. Now for this one, take the number line 6, 17, right? 6 should be included, 17 excluded. Now 6 here positive, negative, positive here. So we need to take the positive portion. So that means this portion and this portion, right? So what is the intersection of this portion? So you have to take intersection of these two, right? So what I can do is, in this only I can mark 6 here, 6 will be somewhere here. We are getting this portion and this portion here. So the common portion is this part, right? As anyways here 6 can be included. So you will be getting x belongs to closed minus 5 to closed 6 as the domain of this part. And the first part we got x belongs to 3 to 7. So here again you need to take the intersection. So it is minus 5, 6 and 3 is somewhere here and 7 is there. So 3 to 7 first part we got, and here minus 5 to 6 we got. So minus 6, 6 and minus 5 should be included. So what we can write is the final domain is open 3 to closed 6. So this is the domain. So what they are asking for domain is open 3 to closed 6. So they are saying it is alpha to beta. Now alpha plus beta is, clearly we can see alpha is 3, beta is 6. So alpha plus beta is 6 plus 3, 9. Third option. Done? Yeah. So let's move to 15th question now. So what is 15th question given? So this symbol indicates greatest integer function. That means that is box. Let f of x is given. F of x is given. S is given as some set. The function g of x equals to modulus of x into box of x square is discontinuous at x. Okay, so you need to see discontinuity points for this particular function, right? Now you need to calculate sigma of f of x, right? Anyways, let's try to understand the question. F of x is given. What is given? F of x is minimum of root 2x and x square, right? So whenever this kind of minimum of or maximum of is given, you need to draw the graph of both the graphs, and if it is minimum, we need to take the lower graph as into consideration, right? So what I meant to tell is here, so what I will do is, so if it is the function here as minimum of these two, just I will plot the graphs here, okay? Y equals to root 2x. So what I will say is, I will take y equals to root 2 into x, which is a straight line passing through origin. So simply it is a straight line, right? Now y equals to x square. So I will draw y equals to x square, which is a parabola. So y equals to x square here. Wait a minute. Yeah. So y equals to x square is like this. Okay. So the minimum of these two functions means just we need to consider whatever the graph is below the, below in the below portion. Here in this region I can see this is below portion and this is below portion here and this is the below portion here. So this has to be the original graph of f of x. Minimum of these two means you have to consider the green portion, right? So now, so that is the first part. Now S is a set, x belongs to minus 2 to 2. The function g of x is discontinuous at x. Okay, you need to calculate the discontinuous points in minus 2 to 2. So let's calculate that. So g of x is given as modulus of x into box x square, right? Now this box is discontinuous at integers. At integers means the inside values must be integers. That means x square must be integers. So if x square is integers, then it is definitely discontinuous at those points. So as x belongs to -2 to 2 is given, x square can be 0 or x square can be 1, right? So that means x equals to 0 or x equals to plus or minus 1. These are the possible, these are the points of discontinuity of this box. But here we need to calculate the discontinuity points of the overall function, right? Now what I can say is, here in continuity we have one theorem that if f of x into, let us say, there is a function, product function, f of x into g of x is there. If g of x is discontinuous at a point because of some continuous at a discontinuous at a point because of, let us say, LHL, left hand limit not equals to RHL, and at that point if this functional value is 0, then the product function will be continuous, right? So let's apply that theorem here. So here if you see at x equals to 0, box of x square is discontinuous, but modulus of x is making it 0, right? So here what we can say is this particular g of x is continuous at 0. It is becoming continuous at 0, but at x equals to plus or minus 1, modulus of x is 1. So it is discontinuous at plus or minus 1. So the number of discontinuous points in S is 1 and -1, right? 2 points will be there. Now what they are asking for, you need to calculate sigma of f of x for x belongs to S. So that means sigma of f of x belongs to S means you need to calculate f of 1 plus f of -1. So f of 1 means you need to consider this graph. So this is y equals to √2x. Okay, let's calculate the point of intersections. Here this is clearly origin, but you need to calculate this. So y equals to x square and y equals to √2x. If you equate them, x square equals to √2x. So x equals to 0 or x equals to √2, right? So this value is √2. Now, yeah. So I think we missed some more points also here. Yeah, here we missed some more points. X equals to x square could be 1 and x square can also be 2, right? Because here x belongs to -2 to 2, right? So x square can take the values from 0 to 4, right? So we have to consider x square equals to 2 also, x square equals to 3 also, but we cannot consider 4 because it cannot take, it is open interval, right? So some more points will be added, which is x equals to plus or minus √2, which is also x square equals to plus or minus √3. These are also discontinuous points. So what you need to calculate is, so finally you get minus √3 minus √2 minus 1 0 1 √2 √3, right? So these will also be the discontinuous points. You need to calculate this. So f of minus √3, so minus √3 or minus √2, so all these value can be considered in this portion. So you can take y equals to √2x for that. So what I can say is functional values will be √2 of minus √3 plus minus √2 plus -1 plus 0. Up to there we can take like this. From 0 to √2 you need to consider y equals to x square, right? So the points at that one is 1, right? So 1 is there, so that is 1 square plus 1. And for √2 you either consider y equals to x square or you can consider y equals to √x. You will be getting the same thing, plus, and after √2 you need to consider √2x only, so plus √2 into √3, right? So now if you see this one, so this value, these values will be cancelled out, and √2 minus √2, that is -2, this one will be cancelled out, and you will be left out with minus √2 plus 1, so 1 minus √2, So let's check. Yeah, third option. Third option is our answer. Done? Yeah. So next, 16th question. Again, geometry question. Whenever geometry question is given, it is pretty much easy. So let's solve this. So let's figure out the diagram here. Let S and S dash be the foci of the ellipse. So just draw the diagram. So x-axis, y-axis, and I am taking an ellipse here. So let me take an ellipse like this. So x square by 25 plus y square by 9 equals to 1. So this is, let us say this is S dash and this is S be the foci. Here given it as this one. And P of alpha comma beta be a point on the ellipse. So let us say P of alpha beta is a point on the ellipse in the first quadrant itself. Now SP square plus whatever some expression is given. Now you need to calculate alpha square plus beta square, right? So anyways, in ellipse, we need to memorize the focal distances as SP and S dash P. Focal distances will be A plus or minus EXP, where A is the semi-major axis, E is the eccentricity, and XP is the x-coordinate of the point, right? So if I take SP is equals to A minus EXP, I can take S dash P as A plus EXP. Okay, now substitute in this particular equation the values. So what is given here? SP square plus S dash P square minus SP into S dash P equals to 37. Just substitute over here. So you will be getting A minus EXP whole square. EXP means you can take alpha, E alpha whole square, A plus E alpha whole square minus A plus E alpha into A minus E alpha equals to 37. So simplifying it, so A plus B whole square, A minus B whole square means 2 times of A square plus E square alpha square minus here A plus B, A minus B, that means A square minus E square alpha square equals to 37. So 2A square and minus A square, A square plus 3E square alpha square equals to 37. Now just substitute the values over here. So A square is 25 here. Okay. B square is 9. Now we can calculate eccentricity also. E square equals to 1 minus B square by A square. So which is 16 by 25. E square is 16 by 25. Just substitute over here. A square is 25 plus 3 E square. E square means how much? 16 by 25 plus alpha square into alpha square equals to 37. So 3 into 16 by 25 alpha square equals to 37 minus 25 how much? 12. So 4 times here 4, 3 cancels out, right? So alpha square equals to 25 by 4. So alpha equals to plus or minus 5 by 2. As the alpha beta is in first quadrant, P is in first quadrant, we need to consider only positive value. Alpha is 5 by 2, right? So we need to calculate beta also, right? So alpha is 5 by 2. So we need to calculate beta. So x square by 25 plus y square by 9 equals to 1 is the ellipse. So now substitute alpha x coordinate as 5 by 2. You will get 25 by 4 into 25 plus y square by 9 equals to 1. So y square by 9 equals to 3 by 4. So y square equals to 27 by 4. So this is beta square. Just we needed beta square, right? So and we needed alpha square plus beta square. So alpha square plus beta square means 25 by 4 plus 27 by 4. So which is 52 by 4. 52 by 4 means 13. 13 for the 52. So the answer must be 13. Done? See, geometry questions are pretty much simple, right? Next, let's go for 17th question. What's the locus of midpoint of the chord? Okay, so let's see the question here. Locus of midpoint of chord through origin of the parabola y square equals to 4x. This is also a geometry question. First, do the routine, plot the diagram. Okay, so what is given here? So y square equals to 4x. Okay, one parabola is there. Y square equals to 4x. So let us say this is the parabola. Now, locus of midpoint of the chord through origin of the parabola, through origin of the parabola y square equals to 4x be the curve S. Acha, we need to calculate the locus of midpoints. Let us say this is O and P is any point on the parabola, then OP is the chord. So we need to see the locus of midpoints of the chords which are passing through origin, right? So OP is the chord. Let us take one chord. OP is the chord, and I can assume P as 80 square comma 280 parametric point. So A is 1 here. So T square comma 2T I can assume. So let us say the midpoint is some x comma y, right? So now I can say x equals to T square by 2, y equals to T. Now we get the locus of midpoints here. So how we get? So y is T. So you can substitute here. X equals to y square by 2. So y square equals to 2x is the locus of midpoints of the curve, right? Now, so be the curve S. So S is this what? Let P be any point on S, then locus of the point which internally divides OP in the ratio 3:1. Acha. So now what they are saying is, so anyways we got the midpoint chord, the locus of midpoints as y square equals to 2x. It is similar to this graph only. So let's say this is y square equals to 2x only. Okay. Now there is a point P on this curve, then locus of the point which internally divides OP in the ratio 3:1. The same similar question you need to instead of midpoint we got a 3:1 ratio. Just use the section formula here. So what I can do is I can take point format of P, so which is 80 square comma 280. Clearly here 4a is 2, so a is 1 by 2. So I can say the point is T square by 2 comma T, right? Now, so if I use section formula, as origin is 0 comma 0, I can assume this point as x comma y. So I can get x as 3 into T square by 2, 3T square by 2 plus 1 into 0 by 3 plus 1, 4. So we got x equals to 3T square by 8, right? Similarly, y equals to 3 into T plus 1 into 0 by 4. So y we got 3T by 4. So T is 4y by 3. Now substitute here to get the equation. Now what I can say is x equals to 3 by 8 into T square, which is 16 y square by 9. So this is 2, this is 3. So 3x equals to 2y square is the locus of that particular point. Let's check the options. 3x equals to 2y square. 3x equals to 2y square. So second option. Done. So let's move to next question here. What is given? It is 18th question. Box of x square minus box of x plus 3 minus 3 is f of x. X belongs to R. Now you need to calculate, you need to check where f of x is positive, where f of x is negative, and this portion, right? So what we can do is, so it's a pretty simple question, but they had given box of x square minus box of x plus 3 minus 3. So in box greatest integer function, there is a property that box of x plus integer can be written as box of x plus that integer, right? So if you apply this property here, what we can get? F of x equals to box of x whole square minus box of x plus 3, I can write here minus 3. So we will be getting box of x whole square minus box x minus 3 minus 3 minus 6. So this is f of x. Now we need to calculate f of x greater than 0, right? We need to see where f of x is positive, right? So that means what I will do is I will write this one, right? So I will take box x as t, and I can say t square minus t minus 6 greater than 0. So 3 2s are, yeah, I can write this one as 3 minus 2 into t plus 2 by factorizing it. So clearly I can take number line, this is minus 2, this is 3, positive, negative, positive, right? Now for the function f of x to be positive, our t value should be here after 3 and before minus 2, right? So that means here t value should be greater than or equals to 3. Sorry, strictly greater than 3, right? Because strictly greater than is given here. So strictly greater than 3 means box x should be greater than 3. So that means if box x greater than 3 means box x can take 4, only integer values it can take 4, 5, 6 and so on. That correspondingly x values can be taken from closed 4 to open infinity, right? This portion. And similarly, in this portion also f of x can be positive. That means t should be less than minus 2. That means box x less than minus 2. Box x can take the values minus 3, minus 4 and so on, right? So that means x corresponding x values it can take minus infinity to minus 3 closed. Sorry, minus infinity to minus 2 open it can take, right? So in this, therefore the total interval in it is positive is minus infinity to minus 2 union closed 4 to infinity. This has to be the interval. Right now, what is the first option they are given? F of x greater than 0 only for x belongs to 4 to infinity is wrong. If there is no only, if in the option if there is no only, we can write, yeah, it is true, but only for means no, because it can be positive in this portion also, right? Next, let's check for the second option. F of x is negative in minus 1 to 3. So you need to check negative portion also. Here clearly see it is negative when t belongs to minus 2 to 3. So that means t means box x. So box x can take minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So that means x can take the values closed minus 1 to open 3, right? Only in this portion f of x will be negative, right? So let's check the second option. Yes, it is true. Then definitely we can put it. So the answer is second option. Done? Yeah. So similarly you can verify 3 and 4 also just by putting the values here, right? So anyways, second option is right. So let's move to 19th question. Right. So what is the question given here? F and g be two functions satisfying f of x plus y equals to f of x into f of y, and g of x plus y equals to g of xy, g of 1 equals to 1 for all x comma y belongs to natural numbers. Now they are asking for this particular expression value. So for this to be evaluated, we need to calculate f of x, g of x, right? So let's start from there. So let's evaluate f of x and g of x. So for f of x, what is given? F of x plus y equals to f of x into f of y. So just by looking at it, we can say f of x can be of the form a power x, or f of x can be 0, right? Or f of x can be 1 also, right? So these are the possibilities for this. So but here f of 1 is given as 7, so that will eliminate these two possibilities. So f of x will be a power x. That means if I put x equals to 1, I will get a. So a is 7. So therefore our f of x will be 7 power x, right? Next, let's move to the g function. So f of x we got, so we need to calculate g of x also. G of x plus y equals to g of xy, right? Now here there is g of 1 is given as 1. Okay, now what I can say is from this equation I can say g of x could be 0, right, because it will satisfy here, or g of x could be 1, then also it will satisfy, right? Now as g of 1 is 1 given, so it will be eliminated and we can take g of x equals to 1, right? So now we got our g of x and we got our f of x. Now what I can say is we need to calculate sigma n ix equals to 1 to n f of x by g of x. So what we can say is sigma x is ranging from 1 to n, f of x is 7 power x, g of x is 1. So directly we will be getting 7 power 1 plus 7 power 2 plus and so on up to 7 power n, right? So it's clearly a GP. We can calculate GP value here. So what is GP? A into r power n minus 1 by 6. So it is given as 19607. Now you need to calculate n, right? So equate it to 19607. So it is equals to 19607. So I think it will cancel out in 7 here. So 2 times 14 means 5, 56. 8 times 8 7 is 56, right? 0, 1, 2801. That means 7 power n minus 1 equals to 2801 into 6. So which will be 6, 0, 8 6 are 48, 12 plus 4, 60, right? So you'll be getting 7 power n equals to 16807, right? Now factorize 16807 with respect to 7. So 7 is 2, 28 means 4, 407, and 7 again 3 times 21, 30 means 4 times again 21, 343. So again 7 means 28, 4 times, 9 times. So you got it. So how many 7s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 power 5. So n must be 5. So that is our answer. Here n is 5. Second option. Done. So let's move to 20th question now. What can we do? Let CR denote the coefficient of x power r in the binomial expansion. That means NCR only, right? Now the condition is given and Pn is given as this part. Okay. C0 minus C1 plus 2 square by 3 is C2 and something is given. Now they were asking the quotient sigma of 1 by P2n, right? So how to solve this? So it's related to binomial theorem. So by just looking at the denominators, I'm getting the idea of integration, integrating the binomial expansion, right? So what I will consider is, so let me consider 1 plus x expand or 1 plus x expansion you can take, or 1 minus x expansion you can take, whole power n as nc0 minus nc1x, or you can say in terms of c0 you can write c0 minus c1x plus c2x square minus c3x cube plus and so on minus 1 whole power n into cn x power n. Done. Now here if you observe this one, we are getting denominator, right? So what I will do is I will integrate this one on both sides from 0 to x. So I will be getting here 1 minus x whole power n plus 1 by n plus 1 into minus 1 you will be getting. So the limits are x to 0, right? On the right hand side I will be getting c0 x minus c1 x square by 2, right? And c2 x cube by 3 minus c3 x power 4 by 4 plus and so on minus 1 whole power n cn x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, right? If I substitute the limits over here, so what I will be getting is minus of 1 minus x whole power n plus 1 by n plus 1 minus, if I put x equals to 0, I will be getting 1 by n plus 1, right? So and the same part, same as this part, I can write the left side as 1 minus of 1 minus x whole power n plus 1 by n plus 1 equals to c0 x minus c1 x square by 2 plus c2 x cube by 3 minus and so on whatever minus 1 whole power n cn x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Clearly, instead of x, we can keep 2 over here to get this expansion. So I am keeping 2 here. So 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n plus 1 by, so because if I keep 2 minus 1, I will be getting n plus 1 equals to 2c0 minus 2c1 plus c2 into 2 square by 3 minus c3 into 2 cube by 4 plus and so on. Sorry, here 2 cube and here it is 2 power 4 and so on, plus minus 1 whole power n cn 2 power n plus 1 by n plus 1. But here the thing is, we needed c0 c1 doesn't have any coefficient. Here 2 square should be there, here 2 cube should be there. So that clearly means we are taking 2 as common here. So if you take 2 this side, it will be 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n plus 1 by 2 times of n plus 1 equals to c0 minus c1 plus 2 square by 3 c2 minus 2 cube by 4 c3 plus and so on. So that is our Pn. This is what Pn means, right? So Pn we got clearly. So Pn is 1 minus minus 1 whole power n plus 1 by 2 times of n plus 1. Simple. Now, yeah. So what I can do is, here they were asking for sigma of 1 by p to n. So what I can do is, so this value they are asking for. So p to n you have to calculate. So that means instead of n you have to keep 2n. 1 minus minus 1 whole power 2n plus 1 by 2 into n plus 1. Sorry, 2 into 2n plus 1. So that means here minus 1 power odd format is there. So minus 1 will be there. 1 minus of minus 1 will be getting 2 by 2 into 2n plus 1. So clearly 1 by p to n means you need to calculate sigma n equals to 1 to 25 to n plus 1. So if you can substitute 1 equals to 1, I will get 3 to 5. I will be getting like that. So all the odd numbers I will get. So 25 terms will be there. Now to calculate this, what I will do is I will add 1 because its odd number starts from 1, right? So 26 odd terms, odd numbers minus 1. So sum of first 26 odd numbers is sum of first n odd numbers is n square. So here it is 26 square minus 1. What is 26 square? 676 minus 1, which is 675. So 675 must be the answer. Let's see. So the answer must be 675.